everybody, welcome to Scary Stories. In a forest full of mystery, a group of young friends decide to camp and experience life in nature. Far from everything outside the city, they set up their tents in the heart of a dark and shadowy forest. As the night falls, the air gets colder and the voices of unknown people are heard in the distance. But friends don't pay much attention to this issue and are doing their best to cheer up for the night. But when one of them turns his back towards the forest, a silent sound is heard. No one can find him. As time passes, as they get closer to the morning, the noise of the friends increases. As day dawns, one of the friends is found, but he is shocked and panicked, and tells a terrifying story of encountering a dark creature in the woods. But the friend is still missing, and the dark shadow of the forest still haunts. Can they find their lost friend, or will the scary creature of the forest defeat them? In a forest full of secrets, a group of young friends decide to camp away from city worries and enjoy the beauty of nature. They go to a remote area of the forest with camping equipment and hope to experience the night in the forest. Night comes and the weather gets colder. The silent sound of the forest, along with the strange sound coming from the distance, shakes the emotion of each of them. But despite all this, they sit encouraged by flames and talk about their future. But when one of them goes alone to the heart of the forest, his voice disappears and his friends cannot find him. Fear grips each of them. As time passes, the closer they get to morning, the more anxious they become. As the day dawns, one of the friends is found, but his condition is also alarming. He tells of a terrifying experience in the forest, seeing a dark and unknown creature that came out of the forest and scared him. But still a friend is missing and the search frenzy continues in the forest. Can they find their lost friend and escape from this dark and scary forest? A secret camp was located in the heart of a various forest. This camp, in a dark and silent night, attracts scary stories. One night, a group of adventurers named Jason, Amy, and Tom decided to travel to this mysterious camp. After arriving at the camp, they found that it was full of abandoned objects and strange signs. A strange sound were coming from far away and darkness was falling on them. As soon as it dark, they started to build a fire and prepare for a comfortable night. But excitement and fear were an integral part of the nights of the camp. Unknown voices from the forest reached their ears. An unknown shadow in the darkness of the night never gave them peace. In a white night, they accidentally encountered formidable and unknown object, something they could not imagine even in their fears. Now they must use all their courage to survive in a dark forest to face this terrifying creature. When these monstrous objects were in front of Amy, Jason, and Tom's group, they were terrified. The objects radiated yellow and boiling lights and moved towards them with unstable and frightening movements. The group is quickly caught up in a situation as they head out in search of adventure regardless. Despite their fear and terror, they decided to resist and use whatever they had available to find a way to escape from this terrifying creature. With perseverance and determination, they managed to find a hiding place in the heart of the forest where the fearsome creature could not reach them. But even in this hideout, fear and terror still beats, and these three adventurers must support each other to survive and escape from the scary forest camp with cooperation and common decision. Will they manage to escape from this forest camp and the scary creature, or will fear slow them? Deep in the forest located in the heart of the legendary mountains, there was a remote camp. This camp, known as the legendary Shadow Camp, has always been shrouded in mystery, with a dark and terrifying history behind it. Stories of missing adventure and mysterious noises in a dark night made the camp spooky destination of visitors. On one of these dark and silent nights, a group of brave youth decided to travel to the legendary Camp of Shadows to discover its hidden secrets. As they lit fire in the forest, they began to talk about old legends and the disappearance of adventurers here. But when the dark shadow of the night began to fall, panic and fear took over. A mysterious sound could be heard in the distance, and unknown objects were hidden in shadows. As they got closer and closer to the camp, they felt dark footsteps moving towards them from beneath the soil. When they approached of the remote tents, an unknown voice was heard from inside. One of the young people, with his courage and brave arm, in a dream of his turn, moved to the tent, and in a brave move, he opened the fabric of the tent. Will our youth succeed in discovering the secret of the legendary Shadow Camp, or will they themselves become new victims of this scary place? In the heart of a deep forest, there was an old and lost camp that no one seemed to know about. The camp mysteriously looked through a window into another world, where horror stories and dark legends told. A group of adventurous friends decided to look for this last camp and use it for a night. With all the excitement and hope, they set out for the dangerous forest, where usual shadows and sounds live. When they arrived at the camp, it was miraculously found, but there were many signs of violations and abandonment. The tents were torn, and there was no fire for light and warmth. Surprisingly, an old box was found in the camp, which was full of strange objects. Photos, notebooks, and other items that seemed lost and out of date. When night came, strange sounds were heard from around. Dark shadows surrounded the camp at night, and everything was full of mystery. The adventurers' friends discovered that the camp was haunted by a humanity that would never be understood. Over time, the group members disappeared one by one. No one could explain what had happened, but the harsh reality was that they would never look back. The camp had become a place where anyone who came there was imprisoned forever. This terrifying and enormous experience will remain in their memory forever. An experience that no one can fully explain and will never forget.